had a good job, a stable income. Everything looked really good on paper, but I was miserable. I knew something was wrong, even though I had a great boss, a great team I worked with. Everything was going well for me. Nothing was wrong exactly. I just wasn't happy. If this feeling is familiar for you and you're going through this in some way right now, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 steps to help you get through this faster than I did. 7 years in a corporate job. I worked with an amazing team. Nothing was toxic, nothing was horrible, but it just wasn't for me. I had this idea of Ignite, of my own business, halfway through this 7 years. I could have started it back then. There were so many times I told my boss that I was leaving. But for some reason, I just had to keep waiting until I was ready. What kept me there for so long, even though originally when I started the job, I told my boss that I'd only be there for a year. I stayed 7 years. And the problem wasn't the money. The problem wasn't that I didn't know what I wanted to do. It was just familiar. It was comfortable. Even though it was familiar, it felt like a really slow suffocation. Like this, eating away at my soul. And again, there was nothing wrong with this job. It was a great job to have. I could have kept growing and growing in the business. One of these days, about 2 years before I actually left, I realized what I was doing and that I was actually just purely scared to leave, scared to go out of my comfort zone. I'd never had my own business before. I was really solid and doing well in the job that I had. And I was just scared for change, even though I wanted it so badly to go. But there was so much fear around leaving. And this was a pattern that I had in my life multiple times in relationships, friendships, situations I was in, my careers. I'd stay so much longer than I needed to. The thing is, our minds will keep us in a space that is familiar. It will keep making excuses for you to stay. Maybe I need to wait until I'm ready. Now it's just not a good time because this is happening at work and I don't want to affect that other person. Oh no, I want to focus on this other thing. But every single day, at some point in that day, it just eats at you. Like you feel it in your bones and it just starts to eat and eat at you. You start to have physical issues, not listening to yourself. You get frustrated easily. Again, this was in my career. This was the last stage I went through before I left corporate world. But this can be anything in your life. So this is like your subconscious running the show in some way. This is like the deeper part of your mind that knows that you are safe if you stay where you are. It doesn't want you to go to the next step. But all you have to keep doing is coming back to that awareness. Use the front of your brain to work through the back and your soul, knowing what you truly want and just taking the steps to get there. The thing with me is it took me 7 years. And even though I know now everything worked out exactly the way it was, it's so important to keep striving and keep focusing on what your goal is. If you're sitting in something that looks good on paper, a relationship, a job, somewhere you're living, it looks fine on paper, but it just doesn't belong to you. It doesn't feel right in your body. I just want to touch on 3 things that maybe it's time to help you to go to that next phase. Honestly, when you change, great things can actually happen. Number 1, readiness is not a feeling. You don't wake up one day feeling ready. It just doesn't work like that. The feeling of feeling ready happens when you actually make the move, when you make that choice. That is when you feel ready. Number 2, the thing keeping you stuck is a belief. It isn't actually the circumstance. I didn't leave my job because of what was going on around me. I left it because for years, it actually didn't feel right for me. I was good at it. I was successful. I really enjoyed the team I worked with, but it just wasn't what I was meant to do with my life. The fact is that it took me so long because I didn't believe that I was enough to own my own business, to help other people and do what I'm doing now. Once I started to help people on the side of my corporate job, I obviously began to feel more confident and have this belief. And that is when I made that move. I made that action that actually made me feel ready. I set a date that I would leave my job and that was it, and that I would start to really build my business. Number 3, and this took me a long time to figure out, what is the cost of your energy if you stay in what you're doing? You might be in a job that you don't like. You may be complaining about it every day. And it's actually not the job that's a problem, it's you. You need to move on, not the job. They don't need to change. If you keep waiting to feel ready, instead just set a date that you are going to make the change. This will build you. It will give you a goal to start changing and moving through this. And this can be in a relationship, this can be at work, friendship, whatever way you want to look at it in your life, traveling overseas, however you want to see it. Set a date, work to that date, start building up your plan, and you will succeed in what you're trying to do. You don't have to decide today and change everything tomorrow. Being sporadic doesn't help the situation. Growing slowly is what gets you there. Your self-belief is one of the biggest things that will hold you in the familiar space. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have this motivation in yourself, this belief that you can do anything, if people keep telling you, oh no, you should stay here, if you keep listening to what they have to say, you're going to continue feeling like there is something that you are missing, like you're not listening to yourself. This self-belief can build when you take action. You find confidence, and every little step that you take, it builds confidence in yourself. Sitting at home, watching TV, scrolling on social media, and just working your job, things will not change. You have to take action to feel that confidence in yourself. The truth is, I did not have that confidence in the first 4 years of me working for the corporate company. But really, I was constantly back in my mind thinking, I need to start my own thing. Oh, but you're not good enough for that. You don't know what you're doing. But once I started to work on my self-worth, once I started to do hypnotherapy and listen to certain things to help me build my confidence, I started to feel really confident and good about what I was trying to do, and that I could make change. I could help people change their lives. So one thing I created was called the Reset. And this is 3 hypnosis recordings that you can listen to at any time. Ideally, one of them each day for 2 weeks, and then you go on to the second one. And what this does, it will reset and transform the way you feel about yourself. Each recording has a specific need where it helps change the way you're feeling. And then over a few weeks to 6 weeks, you will start to feel different in your body, the way you think, the way you perceive yourself. So feel free to click on the link in the description, and you're welcome to listen to that anytime. So I hope this video helped you, maybe just for you to understand a little bit about me, and also that you don't have to be where you are right now. If you want change, if you feel something pulling you, just keep listening to that, keep working through that, and eventually you will find the confidence to get out, to make change. And just a reminder, to make change, you need to take action, which will build confidence. You can do it. I did it, and I believe in you too. So be sure to subscribe. I will release a new video every single Friday, and I hope to see you next time on my videos.